ONEV, on to never-ending victory.
All right, welcome to the ONEV podcast. I'm your host, Mike Krzyston, and today I'm joined with Steve Micic as my co-host, and we're recording live in Phoenix, Arizona at Megaton Diaz's gym with our guest, Megaton Diaz. How are you doing today?
Doing good, my man. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for the opportunity, man.
And thanks for having us. Thanks for the beer. I'm really excited. Man. Yeah, you're actually explaining how beer's not too bad for training.
No,
right?
I mean, matter of fact, no cold on me there, but I'm almost sure I read an article. Everybody talk about, sometimes, oh man, drink out for your training, you need to be zen, you can do this, you can do that, whatever. And we have, top jiu-jitsu guys, in our sport, right, kind of thing, they drink like fish. But that is not, but that's not the point. The point is, I read an article not too while ago, you know what I mean? I don't remember the brand of the beer. One beer before training was good to give you energy because I think the hop, whatever. And the other type of the beer is good after training to help recover. I don't remember the reason, that kind of stuff. But of course, it's not that drunk. It's one beer before, one beer after, almost like a sport drink, But my mind, I always think about, hey man, they say one beer is good. It's about if you drink 2 beers, right?
That's even better, right?
Even better, right? Kind of thing. That's my model, kind of thing.
That's hilarious. Well, we're here today, and Steve is my co-host because he was actually one of your first students.
Man, he used to train with me on the time I still have hair, man. You believe that?
Well, I can remember this, and I want to tell this story because I think it's really interesting.
Yeah.
I was out here with my brother. We moved out in the late 80s to Arizona. And we were always, we're a year apart from each other, so we're always involved. We boxed for about 1.5 years. We did Eskrima Kali, which is Filipino stick fighting. So one day, my brother, we're always looking at how to combat, and we saw a flyer, and it was Megaton Diaz grappling Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it said, and it says, we'll take on all comers at the seminar you were doing. And it was a flyer to promote. So my brother and I went to this thing, and you were like ASU wrestlers were coming up, guys with 220, 30 pounds, and they were coming and they were competing against you, and they were tapping out in 10 seconds, 15 seconds. One guy, the other guy, the next guy, and my brother was sat over by me, and Lou's kind of big. He was like 200 and, this is spinning.
Yeah, it's
215 pounds. He worked out in the gym. Megaton's like 145.
Yeah.
And he goes, this is bullshit. They're setting us up. This is the Brazilian. What the hell is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
Tell the old counts what these guys know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Nobody knew what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was back then. So this was before the UFC. He goes up there and Megaton taps him out once. He goes, wait. Taps him out again. And he came back to me. He goes, whatever he's doing, I'm doing it with him. So we started, this is like 1991, maybe.
Yeah, it's at the time I moved here. It's cool. I don't even remember this story, man. But, it's good to have guys like you to spread the word around. You know what I mean? My name is even go bigger like that, kind of thing. No, it's kind of cool, man.
But Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at the time, no one knew what it was.
No, a few people know. I think California was a little bit ahead of everybody on the time because we have the Gracies in Torrance, we have the Machados in Redondo, we have Fábio Santos in San Diego on the time. Pedro Sawa was in
I don't remember where he was.
I think Salt Lake City,
Utah,
area, Utah.
Big on the West Coast.
Yeah, we have. East Coast. We have the Hansel there, right? In New York, issue in New York. This is the first generation of Brazilians in the United States teaching jiu-jitsu, right? Jiu-jitsu really became popular after the UFC, right? The first UFC in 1993, after Royce, beat everybody. Everybody, oh man, what's that? You know what I mean? Because until then, you know what I mean? I think the mentality here in America was punch and kick. If you're not punching or kick, it's not fight.
Yeah.
Even Royce, when the Royce win, everybody, how you win? He have his back on the floor because the people don't have no idea what the grappling was, right?
And back then, guys, it was no weight category.
Sure.
I mean,
Absolute,
he was
yeah,
what,
yeah.
175 maybe, Royce?
Royce, yeah.
He was fighting guys 245.
Shamrock, Chemo, right?
yeah.
Who's it? Dan Severn?
Dan Severn, right?
Come on.
Right.
Absolutely.
And today, sure, I understand the evolution. Like my daughter fight in UFC, right, kind of thing. And, the evolution of the sport, right? You can't, the people start realizing, hey, man, weight, make difference, right, kind of thing, right? But Royce got on the time show. It really showed the efficiency of the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? Because he was not a too big guy, right? And able to, control and submit, guys 2 times, 3 times his size, right? Kind of thing, right? And that's amazing. That really show, the fish. I think even, some rumors, right? They say who's supposed to fight in the UFC was, on the first UFC, or Krzyston, right? Because Krzyston was the
legend of the family.
The chairman of the family. But the reason the people put Royce because Royce Krzyston was already big, 185, maybe 190 pounds. If he win, it was not going to press as much because he was natural big, and the people could say, hey, man, but he's big. And the Royce come in, with 160, 170 pounds, able to beat everybody. Like, he really show, what the art was, right? And it is, no us, it is, right?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Absolutely.
That's interesting. What got you into jiu-jitsu in the first place? I know you're from Brazil, right?
Sure. In Brazil, jiu-jitsu is part of the culture, right? Everybody do jiu-jitsu, one point or another. Some people do and continue. Some people did for a little bit and stop here and there, right? Myself, particularly, I start with a judo. I start with a judo, right? My first instructor was a judo instructor, but his concept was not. He's graduating in judo, recognized as a judo player, but he do everything. He doing MMA on the time, he's not even having
before it was even a
exactly, right?
thing,
Kind of thing. So he was judo, but he put us to compete jiu-jitsu, he put us to compete, stand up, he do judo. So we do everything, kind of thing. So, and he becoming more involved with bodybuilding, right? Is when they start training with the Gracies. I already was friend with Royler, Carson Gracie Jr., with a lot of jiu-jitsu guys, because in Brazil we cross-train, judo guys cross-train jiu-jitsu, jiu-jitsu guys cross-training with the judo, because even, here in America, you guys very influenced by wrestling, right? But the whole deal is, I believe, judo have more to do with jiu-jitsu than wrestling. I believe wrestling is better for no gi, for maybe MMA, but for the gi aspect, I think, judo is going to be better because it's art coming from jiu-jitsu, right? Judo coming from jiu-jitsu. But so anyhow, so I start training with the Royler, and a lot of times, I have friends from Carson and say, man, I don't believe you go to Royler, because Royler was even a little bit farther from my neighborhood. Carson was, a block away from my house, but I end up training with the Royler. Maybe, the connection I have with the Royler, is, was being friends since young age, kind of thing. So I, graduated from Royler, from Gracie Maitá, Hélio Gracie lineage,
Multiple time medalist at the World Championships, right? And then at your career looked like it started when you were really young, and you're still competing today.
Yes.
And what motivated you? I mean, Megaton, at the World Championships, medaling at the master level, all these golds and all. What motivates you? Like, I mean, you've been doing this. How old did you start? And then
5, right? Start with 5.
And you competed since what age?
Around there, 7, maybe a couple of years later, maybe even, in the 5, I don't remember that time, right? You get too many choke, right? Remember things at that time, right?
Sure,
but, probably, kids events and inside, tournaments, whatever, probably, that time, right? But, I don't think, there is everybody asking me there, what's motivated? I think what motivated me is competition, right? I really like to compete. So I like jiu-jitsu no matter what. I think I go train jiu-jitsu no matter what, right? But I think competition motivated me to get myself better, to learn, to, you know, go in the internet and study, you know, position, study, you know, people's fight, you know what I mean? Go to the gym, try to work out, try to eat right, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. I think competition, I try to compete 1 tournament a month. Sometimes I do 2, sometimes I do 3 tournaments a month.
Still?
Still right now.
Wow.
I go tomorrow. I leave tomorrow to Nashville.
Nashville, yeah, you were telling me about that.
And the next week is Orange County. So it's 2 tournaments this month. Last month I was Kansas City. Before Kansas City I was Sacramento.
Yeah.
And before Sacramento I was Portland. And before Portland, World Championships Master in Vegas. So, you know what I mean? I was competing. I like to compete, you know? And like I said to people, today's days I compete much better than I compete before. Why? Because my prime is past, but I still like to be, you know, right now I'm going to, where I go? Nashville. I compete adult division because I chase points to be able to compete in the world adult next year.
I see.
So the points for adult, you just get it if you compete in the adult division. When you compete master, you got a point for master.
I
When
see.
you compete no gi, the points go for no gi. So I'll separate it, right? In master, I have a lot of points, but if I want to compete the
You gotta
adult
go.
world, I need to go to the compete in the world division, right? On the adult division, right? And
Is that like ranking points?
yes, and the rules for the world in adult, you need to have a minimum of 80 points, you know what I mean, to be able to sign up for the world. Of course, you want to have more than 80 points, right?
Right.
Because the rules is the brackets, the guys with the most points fight the guys with the least amount of points.
So it goes, that's how your seating goes?
Yes, how the
Gotcha.
seating go.
Okay.
But like
Similar to UWW?
Yeah.
Yeah.
last year, you know, I compete in the world, and then people say, man, you old, man, you think, you know, I say, sure, man, I'm old. I'm the only guy compete every world championship since 1996.
That's insane.
You know what I mean?
Well, I saw this guy with his shirt off as he's putting his.
Yesterday, yeah.
No, and today, this guy is ripped. He looks
No,
better. He looks like a bodybuilder at the age of
Yeah.
26.
No,
he looks better than
That's
Stella.
a lipo, man. That's a lipo. I did
No,
a lipo.
your body is.
lipo, man.
No,
Come on.
no, it's amazing. Your ripped abs like a 8-pack, not a
Yeah.
6-pack.
You look good, man. And
No, thank you, man. But it's the thing. I don't have hair. I need to have something, right? Like, come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah,
You
well,
know?
as a lifelong competitor, you know, you say you've been competing, you know, even before the age of 7. Even you said you might not even remember that, but every World Championship since '96, you're still competing at least twice a month. What is it do you love so much about competing?
Man, many things, right? You know, one thing is like, look at myself, right? A guy being around, you know, the organization, IBJJF, right? Even before IBJJF exists, it should be CBJJ, Confederation Brazil Jiu-Jitsu, right?
Right.
Is in Brazil, then becoming IBJJF, International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So I know the guys from the federation since young age. They know me since I'm young. I know the refs, you know, many refs, you see people come and go, even people that work in the organization as well. Guys that compete, you know what I mean, like me, because the people say, I'm not 100% sure, but the people say 95% of the people not compete, only 5% compete. From 5%, only 3% is on the tour.
Wow.
So think about it.
Yeah.
You bump on the same people over and
time, yeah.
over, right? And it become like almost like every tournament is almost like a family reunion. Right? You know,
Yeah,
you see each other like, hey man, you know, fuck. Hey man, how did you do?
Yeah.
Oh man, how did you do it, man? Fuck. Hey man, what's the next one? Man, I think I go be in Nashville. Oh man, I go try to make Nashville. Get there, the guy's there, or maybe the guy's not there, whatever. So you always catch the conversation where you left off, right? Kind of thing, right? And hey man, let's go grab something to eat. And as you're getting older, the rivalry is not the same anymore, right? It's becoming like, hey man, you just go there, have a good time. Nobody go in the tournament think about lose, right? Kind of thing.
You wanna win.
No, you wanna win, right?
Sure. But again, today's days, my point of view is, hey man, win, lose or draw. I love to be here in between. We call this the four lines, right? The four lines, a ring, right? It's the four. I love to be in between the four lines.
This is your life.
Right?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's what I say to people. Say, man, I don't have too much, I guess, going on, you know, for me, right? Only thing I have is jiu-jitsu, right? And I don't know what will be of myself, what will be of myself, right?
Yeah.
If I don't do jiu-jitsu, what I go do, right? Sometimes I stop and think about, you know, if I'm not doing jiu-jitsu, what? You know what I mean? I like to ride motorcycle, I like to surf, but you know what I mean? I'm not good at it, you know, like just for fun, it's fun. What, you know what I mean? So jiu-jitsu to me is my life, right? You know, I don't see myself not doing, you know, or without anything else, right?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Even though, you know what I mean, I'm not even good there, you know, in jiu-jitsu, right? Spend all my life doing this, I'm still not good on that. So it's one of the things also to drive me to excel, to try to be good, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you're a 7th degree. What is it?
Coral belt.
Coral belt, yeah.
I
exactly.
mean,
You have to love it.
come on.
No, but you know, okay, you know.
Come on.
A 7th degree, you know what I mean? You know when you
What
get,
is that coral belt? Explain that a little bit.
Coral belt is mean your black belt 7th degree, right? So you use the coral belt when you get the 7th degree, but you know not all the time. You know what I mean? Usually, I believe, is my belief. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I don't know. You know, a question. You guys know why the sheep,
Yeah, blah.
yeah, poop little balls?
Well, they poop balls?
Yeah, little
No,
ball.
no, I do not
You
know.
guys don't understand about shit. How you gonna understand about the fucking, you know, about jiu-jitsu, man? That's how I feel, right? You know, but no,
absolutely.
but I believe the coral belt is special belt. You go use maybe to do a seminar, maybe to teach a class.
More prestige.
Yeah, sure, it's more prestige, but I never compete. I never train with a coral belt.
Okay.
You know, yeah, sure. I trained before with the coral belt, but it's not normally. Normally, I use my black belt. When you go to a tournament, you sign up what? Black belt division, not coral belt division. You know, even though you could use your coral belt.
You're not gonna.
I use a coral belt in the World Championships adult. Why? Just to prove a point, right?
Yeah, yes.
Kind of say, hey, I'm the first coral belt compete at World Championships adult. Adult go from 18 to 29 years old.
Okay.
So the point is, these kids is not old enough to be a coral belt. And a coral belt, most of the coral belt don't want to compete
They're done.
with adults. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Kind
yeah.
of thing, right?
Yeah.
Even though you say done, here's a funny story. You know, Holly coming here, giving me the coral belt, right? We have a seminar in Holly. Here in the seminar, have a bunch of people, Paulo Coelho, OG guys from the time in Brazil we should train together, Marcelon, Regis, a bunch of people come for my promotion, right? I don't even know what's promotion.
Surprise.
You know, it was surprised, you know. I was strange to see all these guys in. The people call me, hey, Megaton, I go be in Sedona, man, you know, this and that. Oh, man, stop by, whatever. Yeah. Holly, go do a seminar, maybe stop by. The other guy, oh, man, I need to go see a doctor in Phoenix. This. I said, what the fuck? All these guys, you know, fucking, all these guys.
All these guys coming in town, what for what reason,
Exactly, right? You
Yeah.
know, so I kind of a little bit suspicious, something going on, but I was not sure. So Holly come in, you know, in the middle of the seminar and stop and promote me to the coral belt was a good moment, right? Kind of thing. But afterwards we talk and Holly say, hey man, you need to start thinking about it more like, you know, take care of your business, right? Kind of thing, you know.
The next chapter of your life.
I say, hey man, you know what? If this is what coral belts mean, I don't want, man, you know, because I still love to compete, man, you know, I don't know, I love feel the adrenaline, because it's that thing, man, you know, I beat you, I know I can beat you, but it's 99% I know I can beat you. That 1% is what keeps you there, you know. It's that thing, you know, I have opportunity to train with this judo player, Japanese guy, you know, in jiu-jitsu, a lot of people see the same way, I think, right? You know, his name is Kaya Shiwazaki, you know what I mean? A Budo University in Japan. And he have a book and he say, if you win, I think he talk about the world or Olympic or something like that, but I believe in any kind of tournament. If you win any tournament, you enjoy for that moment, for that day the most. Because next day, if you go fight again, the result could be different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You wake up with the left foot instead of the right. The ref is different. The ref in the fight can do a bad call against you. Not intentional, but happening.
One little mistake.
Right? You do a little mistake here. Maybe you're not. You eat something, feeling 100%. So a lot of things can change. This year, I think I win. I don't even know, I think 18 times World Championship Master. And the guy said, hey,
I know,
man,
I saw a list like this.
I say,
big.
hey, man, you know what I mean? It's lucky, right? It's not luck, sure. You need to train, you need to prepare. You know the guys you go fight. You think you can beat the guys, but it's not 100% to go beat the guys, right? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that is what, make you
It
want to be
drives
there.
you,
Want to be there, fuck, feel the adrenaline. Of course, everybody asks, hey, man, a lot, even my students, because I have a lot of students getting nervous or whatever. I say, hey, man, you're nervous from what? I know you. Even myself today's days, I still get a little bit nervous, but nothing that throw me off the game, right? Kind of think, yeah, a little bit nervous because you don't know the outcome, right? You fighting,
anything can happen, really.
Sure. You know what I mean? People watching you in the spotlight, this and that, whatever, right? So make you a little bit more like, ooh. But, you know what I mean? Hey, man, it's another day in the office, right? Kind of thing, right? Kind of thing.
That's interesting. Now, you were talking about, your love for competing also kind of comes from the love of seeing the people you compete against at all these tournaments and stuff. I think that combat sports has a great, I think the secret of combat sports, people who love it, is the camaraderie, is like the intimacy that you learn when you're competing, when you're training with someone, because it's such a primal thing. What kind of environment do you cultivate in your gym as an instructor?
Man, it's a funny you ask that or whatever. I think my gym is like, Micic, right?
Yeah.
Say, he trained me for a long time. I'm the first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu on the state of Arizona. So the people say, hey, man, how many students you have? You have 1,000 students? You have how many schools you have? First of all, I'm not interested in having more than one school. One school is really enough for me to take care, right? And another thing is, I think my gym is, I like to say, is a comparator mentality. We have a comparator mentality. Even if you not go compete, the training you go have is,
Competition style,
competition style. And in today's days, a lot of people have a controversy, right? Talking about, self-defense,
Versus
competition. It's my opinion, okay? I think a guy that do competition have much better chance to defend himself in the street than the guy.
Absolutely.
Why?
It's a mindset.
Sure, for many reasons, right? Because when you compete, competition is as close as you can get to a street fight without being a street fight. The adrenaline, and fight somebody you never fought before, how you go deal with the person, how your game go match up with the other person, this, that, whatever. And the guys do self-defense. I don't think it's totally bad. I think it's good, training. Of course, the people talk 50-50, beating bolo. It's not techniques you go do in the street fight, but you think what? We don't know what you use in the street fight or not. You go pull guard in the street. Come on, man. Right.
Probably the best way to simulate a real fight is by competing.
Sure.
The simulation, there's no better way. You can come in here and train all you want, but when you get those nerves going, like you said, you get your adrenaline going, and you got to meet a guy face to face that's as good as you are.
That wants to hurt you, that wants to take you out.
Or that you don't know how good he is.
But even though, sure, the street understand, hey, man, the guy go punch you, go, look at Master Carson Gracie, right? His philosophy was top, hey, you go fight in street fights, maintain top. Of course, if you found in the battle, we have, resource to be able to finish the guy, reverse the guy and be back on the top. But, in the street fight, I want to be top and I want to be on the bottom. Kind of thing, right? You don't need to be too dumb to understand or too smart to understand that, hey, man, top is always going to be a better position if you're in a street fight situation. Sure. Kind of thing. But, so I like to teach, hardcore training, right? Push the guys and come on, spar a lot, Be in position, I have a student here, is travel with me a lot when they go do seminar. I bring him out to help me out, whatever. Very knowledgeable guy. And I think I'm a knowledgeable guy as well. But I always talk to him, I say, hey man, you know, okay, you know 1,000 position. But from this 1,000 position, how many positions you really use, right? Use one, two, three position. What you need to know, 1, 2, 3 takedowns, 1, 2, 3 passes, 1, 2, 3 armbar, 1, 2, 3 chokes. You don't need to know 1,000. Of course, if you're training for a long time, you go learn all the tricks on the book. But even if you learn all the tricks in the book, you know, go use all the tricks in the book, right? You go use it here. You know, like I say, I try to use my ABC game. If I'm a WYZ, I off my element. You know, I know maybe what to do to bring me back to my ABC, but I want to be on my ABC, I don't want to be in my WYZ. You know what I mean? Makes sense? You know what I mean? So you know a lot of position, but you use just a few positions, right? Kind of thing, you know?
That's interesting. You know, on the competition aspect, you have a daughter who's very successful at the highest level in the UFC. She's won ADCC. You know, how old did you start her in training, and what was your philosophy when she started training? Were you trying to train her to be a champion, or were you just training her just because you wanted to share that with her?
You know, that is cool. You know,
You only have the one daughter, right?
you know what? Every year, Father's Day, right?
Yeah.
Every, like a week before the Father's Day, I always give like $50 to my mailman. Why?
Why?
Okay.
Because this kind of news, you just usually gather in the Father's Day. You got a card. Daddy, finally I found you. I was looking for you all these years. So I paid my mailman to not come in my house by the Father's Day's time. So as far as I know, I just have $1, right? It's, you know, it's like I say, as far as I know, I have $1 only, right? I travel around the world, man. Come on, man. I travel around the world. Right? You know,
He's a ladies' man.
He's a lady,
I don't know about that, you know, man. But you know what I mean? You know what I mean? The whole deal is, you know, I say this story all the time. I always want to have a boy, right? Jiu-jitsu, martial law in general, right, is a male predominant sport.
Sure.
It's not mean, okay? A girl came training, right, kind of thing, for sure. But you know, when you know, we did like 3 ultrasounds, right? And we were able to see the sex because the position was turned. I think it's gonna be a girl, or I think it's gonna be a boy, whatever. But we're not 100% sure if it was a boy or girl. Come a girl, right? Oh, say, oh man, you happy, healthy, whatever, you know, 10 fingers, right? Whatever, you know, that kind of stuff, right? You know, but you know what I mean? In my mind, I start thinking, oh man, but maybe she wants to do ballet.
Right.
Now I don't want to do jiu-jitsu. You know, I'm lucky. I have a lot of friends on the jiu-jitsu community. Have a boy, you know, sons, right? Have boys, and they know even training. They come to me, man. What's your secret? What's your secret? I never push really Mackenzie, you know what I mean, to train. I think she grew up on the environment, you know, because I come teach. I drag her to the gym because, you know, I spend more time with her than her mom, not because her mom have a regular job, right? You know, so I spend more time.
You were more flexible. You were able to bring her here.
She hung out at the academy. I remember her as a little girl.
She learned to walk like in a mat, pretty much, right? Kind of thing, right?
Cool.
You know, play around, have a little TV with a little mermaid. She watch a little bit mermaid and, you know, play around the train on the guys. And the people say kids have a sponge brain, right? And, you know, she become a very natural. But I truly believe today's days, the natural comes because she's around the man. Hey, let's go past the guard. Let's put the hand here. And she watch mermaid, but in the same time, the brain absorbing, you know, what I say. I don't know, it's what I believe, right, kind of thing, right? I don't know if it's a fact, right? But she's, you know, I mean, she's, and when you go to the tournament, Brazilian community, fuck, I need to go fight, right? Her stepmom, you know, need to go fight, you know, and she around. And of course, everybody, you know, Brazilian, hey, you know, everybody watch your kid, right? You go compete, no, I go compete, but everybody, fuck, where's my kid? No, Megaton, she's right there, no worry, you know, I watch her, whatever, that kind of thing, playing with all the kids, right, whatever, you know, and going compete. And I think she liked them, you know, to be recognized, right? Oh, it's Megaton. Megaton's daughter. Oh, it's Megaton's daughter. This and that. It was kind of cool, right? Megaton's daughter.
What is Mackenzie? So talk about Mackenzie's accolades.
Oh, So we go to the tournaments, and everybody starts saying, hey, man, who's this guy? Oh, it's Megaton's daughter, Megaton's daughter. Then she start competing, right, kind of thing. It's a young age, 3, 4, whatever the age, start competing. And they're like, man, hey, who's that girl? She started, oh, it's Megaton's daughter, right? Kind of thing. And I think she liked the attention, right? And she win, the world championship in every belt division, from the low level all the way to black belt. She win the ADCC. She, matter of fact, today's day she fight for the UFC. I think she ranked right now, I think if I'm not wrong, number 7, 6 or 7.
She's a contender, yeah.
You know what I mean, kind of thing. So she's doing good. And a curious thing, a lot of people come over, oh man, I want to be MMA, this and that. I say, hey man, what's your background? No, I do this, I do that. I say, man, concentrate in something. Look at Mackenzie. Mackenzie got invite to fight for the UFC with even any
experience,
any MMA experience, just because her curriculum in the jiu-jitsu world, grappling world, whatever we want to call, kind of thing. So that helped her get to the tournament. But what's funny today's days, when the out to Mackenzie, everywhere I go, oh, who's that guy? It's Mackenzie's father. I say, what?
The script is flipped.
I say, hey man, who coming first, the chicken or the egg? She's my daughter. I'm not her father. She's my daughter. That kind of thing, right? But it's kind of cool. It's cool to go to. I always under her corner and her fights, all the time. I go to California, help train, try to do the grappling part of her game, try to sharpen up her train with her, be a dummy. She fucking punch me in the face. Like, hey, I'm 6 years old. She punch me with sometimes with the glove, box glove, but sometimes she needs to do grappling, so she put MMA glove, and then when she punches, hey, what the fuck, right? I'm not dead here. Come on, man. So it's kind of cool. I like to work with her, train with her. She's a good trainer, even jiu-jitsu, grappling. She's a a beast, right, kind of thing. I wish she trained more jiu-jitsu than what she do today. Kind of thing.
How involved were you? I want to know, because I was real involved with Stefan's wrestling, for the past 20 years. But how involved were you as her coach? Were you her main coach?
No,
did you just?
No, I'm not the main coach because my specialty is not strike. I'm not strike. So she have a strike coach, Coach Parillo, Jason Parillo. He's he work with BJ Penn, Mike Bisping, Luke Rockhold, Rafael dos Anjos, Cyborg, all champions of the of the UFC. She's worked with him, and the strike is very good box for MMA, right? Then she have a wrestling coach she work with, kind of thing, right? A little bit of wrestling, as a Coach Paul, right? Help her, nothing crazy because we're not wrestling. You're not doing wrestling.
You just need to know some basics.
Exactly, right?
Absolutely.
But wrestling for MMA. And it's funny, we talk about that because I see, what's the name of the guy? With the cut in the mouth, MMA guy, Kashma, what's his name?
Hazmat?
No, what's his name? He's, what's his name? He's winning, tough guy.
In UFC?
UFC.
Bo Nickel?
No. Muslim guy.
So either Khabib or Islam?
No.
What is?
Chimaev.
Gotcha. Yeah, it was Khamzat.
What's his name? First name?
Khamzat.
I'm never able to say that.
That's okay.
Khamzat, Chimaev, right?
Yeah, Chimaev.
I see an interview with him, matter of fact, yesterday, and there's somebody mentioned some wrestlers, right? Olympic wrestler, world wrestler, and he's, the people ask, oh man, you never really, fight this guy, how, And he said, hey man, this is MMA, it's not wrestling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you can be like, even Mackenzie is a great jiu-jitsu, but even today's days when we train jiu-jitsu, it's a jiu-jitsu catering to MMA because you need to worry about getting punched, getting kicked, getting, elbows,
A lot of factors, right?
So, what I mean? The training change. It's not anymore the sport jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah.
You know, Mackenzie just have a fight, we went to Abu Dhabi, she fought in Abu Dhabi, and she won the fight in Abu Dhabi, and right away she did a super fight on the Greg Jones event,
Yeah,
right?
CJI.
CJI, she fought to Fion.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And she lost, right, for Fion, kind of thing. And I think, you know what I mean, Mackenzie could do even better, you know what I mean, if her training was more jiu-jitsu competition, if it was just more focused.
Because she's cross-training so much for the MMA.
Exactly. You know what I mean, she's more MMA. Fion being trained, not take it. Fion is a ADCC, ADCC
Yeah, she's
champion.
a very accomplished
She world
grappler,
champion.
right.
You know, it's why the people even want to match up, because she have the same titles Mackenzie have, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, so it's good match, but the time is different, right? You know, Fion is in her prime right now. In jiu-jitsu, competing, everything, grappling.
Yeah.
Mackenzie, okay, her jiu-jitsu is good, but she's MMA now. Her training is 90% MMA, you know what I mean, kind of thing, right? 10% jiu-jitsu, 9% MMA.
Yeah.
So even the jiu-jitsu for the MMA, she trains is a little bit different,
Totally
right?
different, yeah.
It's catering to MMA.
Yeah,
But-
because you're not pulling guard in MMA, but you're defending a takedown and putting them in your guard,
Sure,
right? Yeah,
right? You know
yeah.
what I mean?
And
And
there's-
even, even sometimes you don't even want to put in a guard, right? Because, I think, I don't know if you guys know or not, whatever, but the MMA, the UFC is sanctioned by the box commission, right?
yeah.
So all the judge is a boxing,
They're boxing
judge,
judges.
I
right?
didn't-
It's
I
scored
know that.
similarly, yeah.
Huh?
It's scored very similarly. to
I
boxing.
didn't know that.
But I believe, okay, UFC's been around for 30 years, right, kind of thing, right? But the judge should be a little bit more aware.
Yeah.
But I still think, in my personal opinion, right, the vision is, I think they just on the strike.
They reward too
more-
much on the
strike.
striking versus
Yeah.
the control,
You know what I mean?
the
You know what I mean?
takedown, the pass to guard.
Yeah,
Right, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So-
Knockdowns are worth more than control. I
You know what I mean?
believe
So,
in this
so
one.
you take it, you put somebody in the guard in the MMA, in the UFC, whatever. I don't think it's a good position to be in. You know what I
Yeah.
mean, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Only if you really attacking, getting
Yeah.
something. But if you don't get the other person winning because the person defend your attack.
Yeah.
You know
Right,
what I
right.
mean?
You have to take their back if you
know what I
really
mean? I
want
say,
to.
man, you're just defending. You're not really doing too much. It's just
Right.
defend, right? But whatever, right?
No, it's interesting.
You know what
It's
I mean?
interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
But takedowns are still awarded,
Yeah,
right?
takedowns are awarded.
Sure,
yeah.
But then
But-
after
but-
that, once they hit the ground, where the jiu-jitsu guy really excels usually, they're not getting any points for
But
any
there is
control
a thing,
down
you
there.
can do a 10-8 standing up, but you can't do a 10-8 on
That's
the
it.
ground.
Right,
You can do a
right.
10-8 against the cage,
Yeah,
right? Kind
right.
of thing, right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean, this is beside the point, but, you know what I mean? I don't even know why we go.
No, I don't even know
No,
if
that's
that's
fair,
besides the point, because you've been around the sport of jiu-jitsu and MMA for so long. You've watched the evolution of it to what it is today. I'm kind of curious on your thoughts on, where jiu-jitsu is now. I know no-gi is huge. Like the CJI was one of the biggest, jiu-jitsu events ever. ADCC is still very prominent. What are your thoughts on this like current rendition of jiu-jitsu compared to like what you were taught as a young man?
I think, no change too much, right? I think the popularity changed, you know what I mean? I think, today, I think no gi is a big deal, right? The people make it to be a big deal, right? Because I think more money involved in no gi. I don't know why, the people pay more for no gi and not pay nothing for gi. Why? You know what I mean? Where?
What's the attraction there? I don't
What's
know.
the difference, right, between the gi and no gi? I believe majority of the ADCC, let's go say, is all jiu-jitsu guys, all gi guys.
Yeah, they're all
you know
gi
what I mean?
guys that transition over to no gi for that event.
Sure,
every
because
2 years.
but why?
Yeah.
Because big money.
Big money,
right?
yeah.
Right. If the people pay money for gi, I think gi is gonna be, more,
yeah.
more popular, right?
Yeah.
And more you go to the East Coast, the East Coast is more no gi, and I believe, kind of think, everything you can do with the gi, you can do with no gi.
Yeah.
Only thing you can't do with the no gi is gonna be a collar choke.
Yeah. Yeah.
But guillotine, Darcy, wheelbarrow, armbar,
I
triangle.
know it benefits you a lot more to train in the gi when training for no gi.
I believe, okay, it's my belief, okay?
Yeah.
You should train both, right?
Right.
Even, like I say, let's go say myself, right?
Right.
Maybe I'm better with the gi than no gi. But the levels will be here. I can't be so good in gi and my no gis go be here. I don't believe how it can, or vice versa. You no gi are here, but with the gi you here.
Impossible.
You know what I mean? It should be a little bit more close, right?
Right,
Okay,
right.
I'm better with no gi, but I can do it to gi as well, or vice versa. I do gi, but I can roll with no gi too. Because it's the same thing, man. It's not too much difference, right? Kind of thing. Sure, no gi, the people like to attack more, you know, legs, foot, heel hook, that kind of stuff, whatever. Something you know, do too much with the gi because you grab the gi, it's more difficult for the person attack your leg and things like that, right?
Absolutely.
Because you don't have how to attack the leg, the foot, the heel, whatever, right? But even today's days, you know, every IBJJF tournament have gi and no gi. In today's days for IBJJF, allow you to do heel hook, you know, do leg locks, all that kind of stuff. So, you know what I mean, you can practice both, gi and no gi kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
You know, and I think, you know, CGI was a good event.
Brought a lot of money to the jiu-jitsu community. Craig Jones did.
You know, I hope, okay, I hope was not just one.
Yeah,
one
that's what I'm
event.
looking
I
forward
hope,
to,
you know,
yeah.
be able to do again, you know what I mean? Because, you know, look here, ADCC, $10,000
For the winner.
for the winner for the division. It's 8-man bracket, eight woman brackets, right? So you go make 2,500 for each fight, right?
Right.
To make 10,000, right? You know, CGI give you $10,000 just to participate in the
show,
tournament,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Kind of thing, and then $1 million if you win.
Which is crazy,
You know,
which I feel like is unheard of for that.
right?
For jiu-jitsu.
But again, you know what I mean? You don't think AGCC, you know, should be doing that already?
Yeah.
Give you, you know, they giving $10,000, as far as I know. I could be wrong. Since day one.
Right,
They
right.
never changed the price
The
value,
purse, yeah.
right? Kind of thing. You know, it's kind of, hey man, you know, the times change, the eras change, you know,
Yeah.
the things change.
Keep up.
Let's go, you know what I mean, you know, give more money to the fighters, right?
Yeah.
They deserve, you know what I mean, the preparation, you know. Like even IBJJF, right? Like say, you know, I'm number one, right, in my division, right? I'm master 6, my
Yep.
age division, I'm number one, right? No, actually I'm number 2, you know what I mean? I'm number 1 in my weight division. But, you know, man, how much money I spend to be number 1?
Right.
To
All your
go-
training, your travel.
right?
yeah,
Competition,
nutrition. Yeah.
Man, you know what I mean? You know, and you know, getting nothing in return. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like, man, why I do that? You know what I mean? Kind of
Yeah.
thing. Why I do that? You know, the bottom line is you do that for the love, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Kind of thing, right?
Yeah, you're talking about the money. I find it really interesting because, like, you see some modern competitors, Mikey Musumeci in particular. He was an IBJJF champion. He went, you know, he made his move to 1, you know, which is kind of starting to popularize the super fights on that level. He's making a lot of money there. Are there any modern competitors that you think are kind of paving the way for jiu-jitsu, for like the modern version of jiu-jitsu, the more popular version?
You know, we have, you know what I mean? I think, you know, like I say, I'm blessed. I think I'm blessed, you know what I mean, to be able to see, you know, all the generation. I able to compete with the top fighters of every single generation. Not training.
Right.
Compete against, right? You name I compete. You know, the Mendes, the Cobrinha, Bruno Malfacini, Bruno Frazato, Lagarto, you name, I don't even remember, so many people, you know what I mean? I compete against every top, you know, generation. But I believe, you know, the new generation really, you know, paving, you know, the next level. Hey man, we need to get paid. Hey man, we professional. Today's days, jiu-jitsu professional. And, you know, and I think what really ruined the sport is, you know, people out there, oh, it's American jiu-jitsu, it's Brazilian jiu-jitsu, you know, I don't think that is a good thing, or gi or no gi, you know what I mean? Hey man, is everything is one thing. You know, I question you, you go to Mexico, you been in Mexico before?
I have been in Mexico before, yeah.
Yeah, when you go eat, you ask for Mexican food?
No, I just asked for food or tacos or whatever. Yeah,
Why-
I don't specify.
why-
You're right.
why-
You're
why
right.
don't ask
Yeah.
for Mexican food?
You're right. You're right.
Because
yeah.
in Mexico, man, right?
Yeah.
You know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is, matter of fact, in Brazil, we don't even call Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? We say Jiu-Jitsu. Oh, I train Jiu-Jitsu, okay, with who? With Megaton, with this guy, with that guy, whatever it is, right? You don't say, you train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. No, we train Jiu-Jitsu, man. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
You don't have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, American Jiu-Jitsu. I don't know why, you know, now it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
the
man,
separation,
you know,
the labels.
Everything, you know, that created that divide is not good for the sport in general, you know what I mean, kind of thing, right? You know, I'm sorry if we a little bit ahead of, you know, maybe of the Americans, whatever, you know, but I don't even think, you know, it is the case. Today's days, you know, sure, maybe in the black belt level, we're a little bit ahead because we don't have too many yet. Americans today's days we have many good Americans black belts for sure, you know what I mean, kind of thing. But you need to understand, hey man, we in Brazil, we are, you know, a manufacturer of, you know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu people, right? Soccer players, right? You know, whatever, right? Hey man, you know, you want to go play in Europe or soccer, no problem, man. Like you, there's one coming from the, you know, from the line right now, man.
Right,
you know,
right.
better than you, right? So, you know, everybody talk about Jiu-Jitsu become an Olympic sport, right? I myself, particularly, my opinion, I don't want Jiu-Jitsu to be Olympic. Why? Many reasons. One reason is, first of all the Olympic sport is subsidized by the government, right? Most,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Right? How much costs to learn wrestling? Probably nothing, right?
Yeah.
No, all you need is shoes.
Right?
Shoes and a mat.
How much to learn box? How much to learn judo? Some sport, Olympic sport, maybe gymnastics, maybe, I don't know, one sport here or there, I don't know in the top of my head, can cost a little bit more money. But most of the sport is cheap, right, to learn, to be Olympic, you know. Jiu-Jitsu, man, you know what? I want to charge $200 a month. The majority of, wrestling coach, they have a day job, and in the nighttime, afternoon, we go to.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? In the afternoon, I'm tired, man. I don't want to teach nothing, you know, in the afternoon if I have a day job, right?
Absolutely.
I want to make a living for what I do. We have every titles any other sport have. We have Pan American title, national, world, European, Asian, whatever. We just don't have Olympic title. Why you need to have Olympic title? Fucking, you know, Olympic title, right?
Yeah.
I love it too, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. But we don't have it.
There's no real need for that.
But
Yeah.
then you have another thing, right? You know, judo is one of the biggest sports in the Olympic, you know, in the
Yeah.
Olympic, right?
Right.
They've been around for a long time, right? They give a lot of money to the Olympic Commission, Olympic Committee, right? Kind of thing. No way judo go allow jiu-jitsu to become in the Olympic because it's the same, right? Almost the same sport. So
Right.
go take the public away.
I'm going to jump in there because we were at the in Paris together. You know, Stefan was going to be competing there, and you know, obviously with the knee injury, was not able to compete. But we watched a lot of judo. I watched, and I was really disappointed in judo. The rules now are such that the beauty of judo, the throws, and also once you hit the mat, they let you stay for a couple seconds and they're back up again. It just, I think they diluted the sport a little bit and made it not as, I don't know, what are your thoughts there? You were a judo guy, you know.
Sure.
It's not, it's like.
But you know what I mean? You know, because they focus more on the throws, on the takedowns, right? And I think you're not allowed to grab legs anymore. But I heard even now they go allow because I guess
They're grabbing the legs, they can lock.
the Japanese, you know, getting good in wrestling
Yeah,
because
yeah.
because they don't want to, you know, grab the legs because the European countries, right? The East
Yeah.
Bloc European guys, the Russians,
Yeah,
they do a lot of judo wrestling mix, right? Samba,
Sambo.
whatever,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So they was throwing off a lot of people, right? Because it's not the traditional, right, orthodox style of judo. So even I think that comes from judo. Hey, you're not allowed to grab the leg. You're not allowed to do this,
right.
that,
We talked
whatever.
about that.
We did, yeah.
But now I think the Japanese want to grab the legs back again because I think
Yeah.
they start learning,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, kind of. It's what I heard. I know,
Right.
100% sure. But
Yeah, Japan's really on the come up for a lot of the combat sports. And while we're on the topic of Japan and combat sports, your nickname Megaton, you were explaining that you kind of were explaining to a Japanese guy of how you got your nickname. Would you like, Wellington? Would you like to explain?
Sure.
Story?
No, sure. I compete against Japanese guys between Pan American Championships and World Championships and a bit like 3, 4, 5 top Japanese guys. You know what I mean, kind of thing. And one time when the Japanese guy come do an interview with me, I think in the Pan American Championships or something like that, and he start talking, hey man, what's the deal? You beat out these Japanese guys, and I say, hey man, it's not my fault, it's how the brackets being connected, right, kind of thing, how the bracket being set. I really respect, the Japanese, fighters, the Japanese culture, the samurai, the zen, all that kind of stuff, whatever, and he say, oh, cool, whatever. And then he turn around and say, hey, man, what Megaton mean? Your nickname, Megaton, what it is? I say, hey, man, you really want to know? He say, yeah, everybody wants to know what's Megaton mean. I say, mean big dick. then the Japanese guy like, oh. So I have a friend like close to me was listening. I talk, the Japanese. Say, man, you fucking out. Now the Yakuza, soon you get in Japan, the Yakuza go get you in Japan, go cut your dick off. So shit.
That was a trophy.
But Megaton is like, is how much power bomb have. This bomb have so many megatons of potential power.
Because your name is Wellington.
Yes. My name is Wellington, right?
Everyone knows you as Megaton.
No, it's funny because sometimes of course, in the jiu-jitsu community, a lot of people know my name because allowed to use your nickname to sign up for a tournament, right? So the guys compete all the time. Hey, Wellington is Megaton, but a lot of times you ask somebody, in the jiu-jitsu world there, hey, Wellington? Who? You know what I mean? So Wellington, oh, Megaton, oh, yeah. My nickname become my name, right?
That's
Even
right.
myself, is Megaton. What's your name? Megaton. So you should say Megaton, right?
That's awesome. Well, Megaton, thank you so much for having us here. Steve, do you have any closing thoughts as we're wrapping this up?
I don't. It's just that, I think it's a blessing that jiu-jitsu did come to America.
Yeah.
Because they have allowed us to really realize that, growing up when I was younger with wrestling and everything, it's just like there wasn't the finishing aspect to wrestling. The wrestler can control you, but they can't finish you. And jiu-jitsu came in, and this was an art, not, you see the kung fu on TV, you see karate, you try to box and all that. It kind of put everything together and kind of created this excitement around combat sports, which in turn turned into the UFC and turned into this exciting way of actually being able to defend yourself on the street and make it an interesting sport. So I think Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was an integral part in creating the UFC that we have today.
Sure. And I believe, every style of martial art is efficient, right? But again, even jiu-jitsu, I'm a jiu-jitsu practitioner, right? Jiu-jitsu by yourself is lack of strike aspect. So you need to learn what's mixed martial art, MMA, mixed martial art. So you need to mix together. And I truly believe like the guys that really do good in the UFC is guys that come from a solid background in something, right? Or the guy's a wrestler, Division I, college or Olympic level,
right.
Or the guy's a jiu-jitsu world champion, the guy's a Muay Thai, fighter, and then they cross-training, And my point of view today's days with you go to MMA school, you know what? You go learn jiu-jitsu today. Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, you go learn wrestling today. Cool. You go learn box today. Cool. You learn everything, but you're not solid in one particular range. So
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Exactly, right? And it's that whole thing. When the shit hit in the fan, you need to rely on something
Absolutely,
you're good
yeah,
at,
yeah.
right? Okay, I mean,
What's your baseline, right,
I'm a jiu-jitsu guy, right? You know, sure, I learned a little bit stand-up, but hey, man, shit, I hit the fan. I want to take the guy down and do my jiu-jitsu because this is what I feel comfortable. Same thing maybe with a strike. He's a strike, but the guy taking him down, man, he know a little bit to maybe come up under his feet and do his strike, right? So was a big eye-open for the martial art community. Hey, man, you can't be limited to one particular, you should be good in one particular thing because I train jiu-jitsu since I'm 5, right? You know, I'm just turning 25 right now. So, like, but take you a lifetime to be good in one particular range. How you expect to be good in everything, man? You know, it's impossible, man. It's what I believe. It's impossible.
Yeah.
You could be good in one thing and okay in other aspects. I think that is the way to go, right? Kind of think, right? You see, like guys, like out there, Khabib, all these guys, you know what I mean? You know, they don't even punch that much. Once you punch, take down, boom, finish. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
They're finishing with chokes,
right?
control.
You know, they are good strikers. No, but they don't. I don't even think they care about be good in strike or not. They just want to, hey man, short the distance, take the guy down,
close the gap,
right?
get to
you know what I mean? Or they strike. I always go try to keep the distance and let the guy take down, right? The wrestling go take down and ground and pound, maybe a couple submission, right? You know. So I think it was very good for the martial art world. You know what I mean? The jiu-jitsu come around, the MMA, you know, all that kind of stuff. You know?
Absolutely. Well, yeah, like I said, thanks again for having us
you,
in
man.
here. What a great conversation with the living legend.
A legend,
Listen,
Megaton.
I hope to see you guys another time soon, man.
Hell yeah.
Right?
Thank you for listening, and on to never-ending victories.